shows him living in Sugar Falls, Ohio. There you go, right here. Stanley Richard Bow. So we were looking for Stanley R. Bow. So it shows him living in Sugar Falls, Ohio, born in 1930. So this is the right person. Okay, now we have some information that we can use. We look for Stanley Bow in Sugar Falls, Ohio, through a generic internet Google search. So now we don't have just Bow. Obituary, we have Bow, Chagrin Falls, Stanley, obituary. And we should turn up my mother's obituary. She died last year, and because I'm into genealogy, I made up an obituary for her, and it's on Find a Grave. And it should be showing us that in a second. It's got a picture on it, and it has the obituary pretty much as it appeared in the newspaper. So this is not actually the one, this is what I wrote, but here we have the names of her children and grandchildren. So now you know you can look for Julie Bow Youngblood, you can look for Dr. David Bow, or Beth Sedlak, or Karen Bow Dempsey, or Lisa Bow Lenhart, wherever. So let's go to Facebook, and we'll do a search for Julie Bow Youngblood, and you'll see Copley, Ohio. So her picture will come up, and this is my sister. Okay? Now you can go from a person's Facebook page if they have an open page, and this is the greatest thing. Because I'm not necessarily sure that this is the right person, so I go to her friends. Alright? Now in her friend list you will see Karen Bow Dempsey, Elisa Bow Lenhart, Jerry Bow, Stanley Bow, Jonathan Bow, all these Bows, okay? Eleanor, we saw Eleanor Bow, right? So, you think we're on the right page? It lines up perfectly. It's got all the names of the people we saw in the obituary. So this is the right family. Well,
So your name wouldn't be on there?
it is, but this is my account, so that's why my name's not showing up, because I'm not a friend of myself.
Right.
So my name won't show up. But if it was, you could click on it and you would see my Facebook page, which is this one. Because it's Halloween, I put a picture of a pumpkin on it. And then yesterday, we went, Carol and I, to Bow Lane, and took a picture in front of the street
That's a
sign.
nice
That's
picture.
England.
And you can look at it in some detail. And you can see how many people liked it, and you can see what they said about it, and all this fun stuff. Now, here's something you might find if you didn't know me. As you're going through here, the person who said here, Jennifer Heroux, who says, my Uncle John lived on Bow Lane in Montana. That sounds like something we might want to investigate. There's a John Bow in Montana. So,
All these comments came up since yesterday?
Yeah.
Were entered since yesterday?
yeah, 12 hours ago on that one, 5 hours ago on that one.
Right.
So for a person who has Facebook and it's not tight and restricted, you can see this stuff. Now mine on purpose is open because I want people to find me. And so I'm careful not to put things on it that I think are sensitive information. But some people are really, really protective of their information, you can't even friend them. I mean, you can make it so tight that you're lucky to even find them at all. Don Brock, this morning, and Suzanne Wells, his cousin, I friended Suzanne this morning, and Don says, oh, I said to Don, are you on here? So I'm typing his name in, Don Brock, nothing comes up. So you got your security systems set really high, don't you? I said, yes, I do. So we cannot find Don. All right, so now there's other ways of finding. So now you've got names to look for. You might not have found it. Maybe you found Jonathan Bow, John Bow, and you want to look for something else. So we're going to go to Google, to YouTube. This is the fun stuff. All right, here's YouTube, and I have it to find as I was searching for Jonathan Bowe, this. Hope we have sound. So Jonathan Bowe posted this video from Montana about 5 years ago, maybe. Is it still here? Turn the lights down. Alright, so this is just somebody's home movie that he added effects to. Now, I'm gonna pause it right here. You put the credits of Jonathan Bowe film, starring Michael Bowe, Jonathan Bowe, Harry Bowe. We got some names to look up. Harry Bowe. I happen to know that Harry Bowe is a relative of mine because his father was Harry, and his father was Harry, and his father was Harry, and it goes back into Iowa and then into Ohio. So I'm thinking, oh great, I got something here. Well, I looked for more just to see what else there was. So if we go back, I don't want to do the entire thing, but he has a whole slew of videos that are fun, things like that. So here's a guy that's got, you know, a sense of humor. Here's another one. So it turns out that he is like a science person that studies geothermal solutions for energy. But he also is a ski instructor in Big Sky, Montana. There's something kind of interesting. If I ever want to go take skiing lessons on a mountain somewhere, I want to go to Big Sky, Montana and get him to give me some. So this is, he's got some software to do this. Gingy, Grandma Gingy, I think that's his wife. I'm not. Alright, so what else? You've got places like Find a Grave. If I wanted to look up Harry Bowe in California, or Harold, you can look on Find a Grave. So this is a website that I think is great. Contemporary people have posted pictures, and in some cases it's their relative, and sometimes it's just someone who kind of is taking care of a cemetery. Search by name. All of a sudden these images are coming up different from what I'm used to seeing for some reason. Well, let's try Harold Bowe. Let's think of that. Oops, it's spelled wrong. Oh, we don't want famous grave shirts, that's my problem.
Click on names.
But it's under famous graves, so
Oh, yeah.
here's what my problem is. I'm gonna go back. Okay, so you would go to this one here, search any grave anywhere
Yeah.
you want.
There you go.
Okay, so let's do Harold Bowe. These dark ones are ones that I entered myself, so you can see where they are. In this case, I'm looking for, here's one in Cleveland, near me. So those are stones that I found, and then I figured out who they were and put them up. So find whatever, any one of these, so here's a Harold Giles bow. Here's a picture of the stone, tells you the name and his wife's name. It's connected to a child, it's connected to his parents, Franklin Emery Bow. Who's Franklin Emery Bow? Well, oh, here's a picture. Here's a guy named Franklin Emery Bow, who was born in 1867 in Shellsburg, Iowa. Now I happen to have posted this picture on this page. And here's some information that I posted from a census that I found in different parts of Texas. And you can keep clicking on the links if it's been assembled well. His father is Russell Levant Bow. Russell Levant Bow was born in Trumbull County, Ohio. Now we're getting close to my home, right? But this tombstone is in Iowa. Who's his father? Russell Fillmore Bow. Russell Fillmore Bow. There's a bio here. This guy was in one of those biographical and historical sketches somewhere, and someone copied and pasted it into this little biography. He owned land in Farmington, Ohio, Trumbull County, Ohio. Moved to Nebraska. He grew up in Shellsburg, Iowa. And he has a bunch of kids. Russell Levant, Daniel Fillmore, Romanzo Bow. Who's this Romanzo Bow? That's a funny name. We can go all over the place from here and look at all these siblings. All right? And you can go back to his father, Abner Bow. Who's Abner Bow? No picture, but we have a great big tombstone in Ohio. It's a 10-foot tall stone. Well, he goes back to Edward Bow. So if someone has gone to the trouble to do all this, you can find a heck of a lot of information. Sometimes with dates, sometimes with files.
I think you need to point out that not all the stuff on Fine Grade is this
Oh,
detailed.
very rarely.
There's a lot of it that's
When
very
you hit
sketchy.
gold,
Yeah.
when you strike it rich with one like this,
Yeah, this is the mother love.
this is the mother love.
Yeah.
So who's Edward Bow? Okay, Edward Bow. Well, you know, he's born in Middletown, Connecticut. And there's his tombstone, and that's in the old Farmville Cemetery. Now, you can also go forward in time. Since I want people to find me, I did all this stuff. So it's just an example. So I thought maybe I would do an example of one that I knew a little bit about. But just to sort of start the search over with a different person, right? So there's a Roberts family, and anybody come from the Roberts family? South Farms? Well, I was hoping we'd get a bigger crowd and somebody would be. So there's a Roberts family that married a Bow woman married a Roberts family. And there was a Collins guy who was Collins, Roberts, and Hinchman, Susan Hinchman. So there's a Prudence Roberts and a Hinksman Roberts in the old Farmville Cemetery. Okay. So on Find a Grave, you can go and search for a last name. Well, in this case, the first name is even easier because there's only one Hinksman. All right, there's two Hinksman Roberts. 1800 and 1838. That one has what you usually find, almost nothing. We'll go back and look at the other one, see what's on there. Ah, this one's got something on it. It's got his wife. Some character named David Bow contributed something to this page. And Mary Johnson is the wife, and the spouse's thing is Mary Johnson Roberts. So here's a picture of Mary, wife of Hinksman Roberts. All right. So I had gone into my family tree and started tracing this. When I went to the old Farmville Cemetery, I took pictures of all the stones I could find, and it was very confusing because there's a lot of Johns and there's a lot of multiple names, and I would usually look them up, and it's not my ancestor, but it's got to be related. So I went to the Barber collection and started putting all of them together so that when I found one, I could figure out which cousin it was. I got a really big database of Johnsons and Roberts now, and now I can figure it out when I see those. So at some point, I traced this down to a person named Ginny Crawford. And I had called her on the phone and talked 10 years ago, and she was a retired attorney in California, I think, and I wrote notes down about her, and every 5 years or so I would give her a call and